This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I am Nashay Taylor. As more and more people are refusing or reluctant to get vaccinated, states are giving back hundreds of thousands of unused shots, and achieving the president's vaccination goal for this summer is under question.
A long-awaited, more normal Mother's Day. Family members embracing after being apart for so long.
Oh my God! It's so good to hug you.
It comes as COVID-19 vaccinations dropped last week by 2 million a day. Concerned about reaching herd immunity, the Biden administration is now pushing the president's July 4th goal for a full economic and social reopening.
If we get 70% of the people vaccinated by the 4th of July, namely one single dose, and even more thereafter, you may see blips, but if we handle them well, it is unlikely that you'll see the kind of surge that we saw in the late fall and the early winter.
Across the country, several states are requesting the administration send only a fraction of their vaccine orders as vaccine hesitancy grows. Reaching Biden's goal remains an unknown.
We're at 58% today, so we've got a path ahead of us, which will involve getting people even easier access to the vaccine, making sure that people build their confidence.
The Biden administration has embarked on a $250 million community program that includes using trusted messengers to encourage reluctant Americans to get the shots.
It could be sports figures, it could be entertainment figures, it could be clergy, or it could be your family doctor.
The next step is getting children vaccinated against COVID-19. This week, the FDA will likely approve the Pfizer vaccine for 12 to 15-year-olds. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
In a recent study, 1 in 5 parents said they would not get their child vaccinated. The Fargo Cass Public Health announced Friday the up-to-date vaccination coverage rate has hit over 50%. This means more than half of the residents in the county have received a shot of a single-dose vaccine or both of a 2-dose series. In comparison, the statewide up-to-date vaccine coverage rate has only reached 42.3%. And if you're wanting to get a shot this week, Fargo Cass Public Health will be hosting another vaccine clinic on Tuesday, May 11th, starting at 8 a.m. Anyone 16 or older is eligible to get a shot. The Pfizer vaccine will also be available. The clinic takes place at Fargo Cass Public Health office located at 1240 25th Street South. Walk-ins are welcome, but appointments are strongly encouraged. And Grand Forks Public Health will also be hosting a pop-up clinic beginning tomorrow. Vaccinations will take place at Hugo's Family Marketplace at 1750 32nd Avenue South. The clinic is being held weekly between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Mondays and 2 to 6 p.m. on Thursdays. Individuals can register for an appointment at ndvax.org or walk in during clinic hours. And if you're looking for more options to get the vaccine in your area, use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's on the homepage of our website, or you can open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. As we get closer to the end of the pandemic, certain aspects of our life is returning, and that's what's happening in downtown Fargo as music fills the streets. Valley News Team's Aaron Walling has the story.
That is the sound of music. Actual live music in downtown Fargo. And a local band provided some much needed tunes.
I think it's really cool to see the culture come back to the area, because a lot of the musicians who gig around downtown are now starting to see each other again since the quarantine is not fully lifted but starting to get better.
When the pandemic started, bars, live events, and other staples in the downtown area were put on the shelf.
When you're a musician, this is just kind of like all you have to do. Like, this is really it. So going from like not having any gigs or performances or anything, like it was just being so desperate to play with any other people that it would just be like, let's just practice together. Like just, you know, like just needing to play with other people. So it means the world to see it coming back, I think.
But with COVID restrictions loosening up more and more, music is finally back on the scene.
This is almost reminiscent of the old Fargo Moorhead music scene, you know, the Ralphs and the Kirby's, where we had like a lot of original stuff coming out of Fargo Moorhead that was really awesome.
With the return of live events like this also helps out bands that haven't been able to find gigs during the pandemic.
It's just like, if you love music, no matter what age you are, and you have a venue that you can play at, just go and do it. That's the best thing, is you'll find like-minded people.
In downtown Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
All right, for more information on upcoming music festivals, visit our website and click on this story. A citizen tip call led the Moorhead Police Department to make an arrest in a series of garage break-ins in the area. Just before midnight on Friday evening, police responded to a report of a suspicious man breaking into garages at an apartment complex in the 1500 block of Bellesley Boulevard. Shortly after their arrival, officers found the suspect in the area. Upon further investigation, it was discovered the man had property from 3 other garages in the same complex. The suspect is currently being held at the Clay County Jail and is expected to be charged with felony second-degree burglary. The discussion on mosquito spraying in the city of Moorhead is expected to be brought back up during tomorrow's city council meeting. Last month, the city council voted to continue ground spraying, but decided to put a pause on aerial spraying when it signed its contract with Cass County Vector Control. City council members initially voted against the aerial spraying, stating they needed more time to create appropriate rules and parameters. The council meeting begins tomorrow at 5:30. Now expect some delays on I-94 in Fargo starting tomorrow. North Dakota DOT contractors are doing bridge work at I-94 and I-29 interchange. Ramp access will remain open, but lanes on the interstate may be closed as the project progresses. Speeds will be reduced to 45 miles per hour. Once the work near the tri-level is done, the project will move to I-94 at 45th Street and 9th Street East. Speeds will be reduced to 25 miles per hour during these 2 phases. The work is expected to last until mid-August. Over the weekend, Fargo South hosted the 15th annual Change of Command ceremony for a North Dakota squadron. The cadets from the Air Force Junior ROTC put on a show in front of a family as the new leader takes over the role of commander for the high school program. She says she's ready to lead her fellow cadets.
Our Corps is a giant family, and the leader is kind of like the mother or the father figure of it, and we have to guide each of the cadets.
Hop heads into her senior year with new responsibilities on her shoulders. Governor Doug Burgum used his line item veto on a hotly debated higher education funding bill. It makes more than $11 million in grants available to North Dakota colleges and universities, but with exceptions. If the school is found to be offering sexual education with curriculum on abortions, the school loses eligibility. However, Burgum used his veto on sections that would have punished faculty members for making deals with abortion providers to supply educational resources. In a statement, Burgum said the North Dakota legislature has made clear and our administration agrees that taxpayer funding should not go towards funding abortions. Challenge grant dollars have not and cannot be used for that purpose. Meanwhile, 7 people were killed during a birthday party at a mobile home park in Colorado Springs overnight. The gunman was among the deceased. Investigators with the Colorado Springs Police Department believe the shooter was the boyfriend of one of the victims. They say he drove to the residence and began shooting people at the party before taking his own life. There were children inside the trailer, but they were not hurt. Right now, investigators are working to determine a motive. The identity of the suspects or the victims have yet to be released. A cyber attack has forced a major pipeline that transports fuel across the East Coast to shut down. Colonial Pipeline provides nearly half of the East Coast's fuel supply. The company says a ransomware attack forced them to stop all pipeline operations yesterday to deal with the threat. The company says some of the smaller pipelines are back up and running, but the main system is still down. Experts say the attack shouldn't cause gas prices to rise unless this turns into a prolonged situation. A streak of light ran across the sky in the Fargo-Moorhead area. This video given to us by a viewer caught all the action. The event happened around 3 a.m. this Mother's Day morning. You can see a glowing ball eventually burst into a colorful scene. No word on what the streak of light was or where it came from. Later on Valley News Live at 10. India is continuing to battle the spread of the coronavirus. But up next, Summer shares how we will get back up into the 70s this week. Stick around on Valley News Live at 10.